Very well, welcome to Clan Live Fan TV. My name is Callie Yorke. A very warm welcome to hockey Laura Duff. Thanks very much for joining me tonight, Laura, to talk about big game on Saturday, Fife Flyers against Glasgow Clan. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Callie. Yeah, thanks for asking me on as well. It's nice. It's something I've never actually done before. So
Very
a
welcome.
little bit
You're a bit
different
of a
being face to face.
celebrity doing these webcasts, I believe. So I know we need to pay a wee bit more of a fee to get you on, but we had to pay that, so we're quite happy here.
Yeah, no, obviously that came a bit of a surprise this season. I didn't expect to be doing that whatsoever, and obviously I'd stepped away from doing updates on my own personal Twitter page and stuff like that. And I kind of just been watching the games as a normal fan, sort of season ticket holder. And then Bean had asked me back at the beginning of the season, I'd kind of said, no, that's not for me. And then a couple other folk had been at me, and I went, right, okay, I'll give it a go. So I've kind of ended up being roped into it, and I'm now there to the end of the season.
I've heard some of obviously I see some of the highlights, and it's really good what I hear.
Yeah.
And obviously got to know you from Twitter. You were the original, well, in my opinion, the best in the league at the Twitter updates, because you really actually felt you were at the game, and you sort of inspired me to do my own Twitter updates, but obviously not to that standard. But I do appreciate how difficult it is when your face is in your phone, the whole game. So at least you get to watch it from the webcast. So give us a wee bit of background to yourself, Laura, who maybe people who don't know much about you.
Yeah, 34-year-old. Obviously lived in Fife all my life. I stayed in a little quiet village. Started going to Flyers when I was about 11, just not long after my 11th birthday. So I've been going obviously 20 plus years now.
Your dad that took you along?
Yeah, so like my dad took me along a Saturday night. My mum was working. He says, right, we're going to go to hockey, something different. Went down, met one of his pals, and first game I went to was actually Paisley Pirates. We're in Kirkcaldy at the time, and it was a bit of a game that took quite a quick turn into a bit of a brawl, bench brawl. Frankie Morris slap shot from the point, things like that. I still remember, like clear as day. And then that got me hooked. So, watched them through, when we were in the SNL. BNL was probably the best days for me watching. Absolutely superb. A successful team, a real balance between imports and British guys, and then obviously into the Elite League. So, yeah, did obviously Twitter updates for quite a while. It was actually John O'Bullard from Nottingham. It was him back in the day. He'd contacted me via Twitter and said, look, Nottingham's up, and any chance you could just let me know what's going on. And I kind of decided to do it via Twitter, and then things could gradually got more in depth, and I ended up, taking it up for quite a few seasons. But yeah, it was something obviously decided earlier in the year I'd step away from, but I had some great times doing it as well. I'll never say never going back to it, but yeah. And obviously I've now stepped over to helping Bean do some of the webcasts, which is again another perspective of calling the game.
No, brilliant. Obviously no webcast, I believe this Saturday, because it's a big game between Flyers and Glasgow. Just give us a wee feeling of, I've obviously not seen much of Fife. We've only had the one game, I think, earlier in the season. There's been a few changes probably between teams since then. Give us a wee flavour of how you feel the Flyer season is actually going, Laura, this season.
I mean, from a fan only, perspective, it's been frustrating. Like, and I have to feel frustrated for the coaches as well at the beginning. Like these guys it was a late start. They didn't know what they were going to be doing with all the restrictions with COVID and things like that, which is obviously the same for every team.
Yeah.
Fife being Fife, like to leave things a wee bit later than everyone else, but obviously those guys had a tough job to do, and obviously we're not a big budget club. We are a gate-based club, so obviously we were up against it. And the guys we brought in, we've got some talent in there, but I think as Hutchie, he nailed it there in his interview at the weekend after the Coventry game. We've not got a team that can win on skill alone. They have to all put the effort in. They have to all be working for that 60 minutes. I mean, obviously we've not seen a lot of that, and hence ourselves in the position we're in. A couple of good recruitments we brought in though. McGee was the first one, obviously, forward wise we brought in. Really good wee player, not a big guy, but Graf's get stuck in, good hands. And then obviously Chris Lawrence just recently. and he's one that's got fans talking, eh? Like, obviously he's one that's known to the league, he's been around, but even like things like winning the face-off circles, we'd been struggling. He really picked that up on Sunday. Big body in front of the net, making a couple of hits. It's all helps the guys, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good pickups there. I mean, I don't really know too much. I certainly know about McNicholas, and he looks like a class player.
Yeah.
And there's also a guy that I see on Twitter. I think his second name's Mom. I think his first name's Owen. Because every time I look on Twitter, there's Owen Mom. But Shane Owen seems to be having a fantastic season. You obviously seen him at first hand, Laura, and how is he doing?
He's unbelievable. Like, I've seen some class goalies for Fife over the years, like guys like Steve Briere, who's obviously, in the Toronto Maple Leafs franchise, and he's the head goalie coach over there and things like that. And I mean, he was unbelievable when he played at Fife. Superb goalie. And we've had some, we've had Kevin Reagan over the years, we've had Brian Pitton, we've had class goaltenders, but Owen he's a whole other level. He's something else. He really is special, and he could confidently walk into any team in this league without a shadow of a doubt. And the guy is really, again, stuck everything on the line for us this season and kept us in games, give us a chance to win,
Yeah.
And you ask any fans and he'll certainly be up there for the player of the season. That's without a doubt.
Definitely. Greg Chase, is he back in the lineup yet, or has he still been out?
He was out again at the weekend, so we have been struggling. We've had also Colton Waltz came in as well as a defender. Obviously, we were short at the back. We were playing with 4 for so long. And then he came in, looked cracking player, a bit physical back there, what we needed as well. And then he seems to have disappeared with injury. We don't have an update on how long that's going to be, but that's been several weeks now. Greg Chase has been in and out as well. He was sort of back last weekend, but missed the weekend there. And then Peaks, he's been in and out as well. The squad, he seems to be struggling with a bit of an injury too. So, we've not had the best run of luck in that sense. So even this weekend coming, I'm not sure who we're still going to have missing. I fully expect Waltz to still be out. I've heard rumours that is a bit more long-term, but I don't know anything for certain. The likes of Greg Chase and guys like that, I'm hoping they're back in the lineup, because we'll certainly need to be as close to a full team as we can get.
Craig Peacock's one you touched on there, obviously a good player for Clan over the years. I was disappointed that he moved on, but obviously you guys get the benefit of that. How's Craig Peacock settled into Fife?
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult season. It's a difficult season for all the guys, especially, as I say, with the struggles that we've had and things like that. But for me, Peaks has been around the league. He knows what it takes. He knows the GB setup and things like that in the past as well. He's a guy with experience. So, he's done well. For me, he's a good role model to have within that squad for guys like Scotty Jimison and young James Spence. And, they're guys that are going to be looking up to guys like Barry McKenzie and Peacock and saying, right, these are British boys that have been around a while now. They're consistently getting ice time and things like that. How can I get to that position? How can I get to that level and be competing every night for that? So, Peaks is, he's doing well. He's grafting away. We knew that he would do that anyway for us. But certainly, as I say, he's came into the injury trouble. So we've certainly not seen the best of him, I would say. But I think that's due to team dynamics and the case of, being not maybe 100% fit for a lot of the season.
Yeah, I saw Jameson got a goal on Saturday, or the weekend, sorry, and good to see young guys coming through. We had Jordan Gueza getting his first goal for Clan, which was announced at Belter against Sheffield. And it's good to see younger guys getting a chance and actually coming in making a difference, Laura.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as I said there, I touched on it when I was talking about myself, sort of thing, that the favourite days for me was the BNL days. You had a real mix of British guys and the imports, and don't get me wrong, the British guys didn't get, leeway of, we need you in the lineup because we've not got enough imports. It was, you have to work, you have to put the shift in. And young Scotty Jimison, he's been around a couple of years now, and he's certainly just give him the opportunity, and he's going to make sure that he tries to take it. And that's exactly what he did on Sunday. I mean, I even from commentating on it, I was maybe got a wee bit excited, but I was dead chuffed for him. Do you know what I mean? Like, the guy's going out there, he's travelling up down the country, he's maybe touching ice once or twice a night, if that, and then all of a sudden, right, you're chucked in there again, go and get your goal, and he did. And as you say, young Bieza as well. Obviously, it was unfortunate he left Fife. But he's got to go where he's, he thinks is going to be a better fit for him, and it's good to see guys like that scoring too.
Yeah, so probably coming on to your recruitment, you've touched on quite a bit there. It's probably going to be difficult to make a lot of changes now till the end of the season. And Fife traditionally, as you say, bringing guys late. What's your feeling overall of the recruitment? Do you think it's just been circumstances that you've, and injuries that have caused maybe some of the Fife's issues this season?
I think, I think financially it has been a big ask for the club. I mean, we're looking at a club that should be, you should be looking at 1,600 to 2,000 a game. We've been probably averaging around about 900. Okay. That is a massive, massive difference. And, with COVID and things like that, it was tough on the club. It has to be. Do you know what I mean? There's no doubt about that. But, yeah, I think there was certainly maybe the financial side hasn't been as much as we maybe previously have had. And then that's maybe had effects on recruitment. Nobody can say for certain. You know what I mean? The guys that's only going to know that for certain is the coaches and the directors. But the guys, obviously, that we've brought in are maybe, guys just out. We've got a lot of guys right out of college, right out of uni. So they don't maybe have that experience the first time playing in Europe and things like that. So, yeah, it's obviously not the season that the fans have wanted. But we've got a slim chance at trying to make the playoffs here. This weekend is massive. This is pretty much, in my opinion, make or break this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting on 20 points. So you're 10 points behind Clan, but I think you've got an extra game in hand. Mm-hmm. You're obviously chasing likes of Dundee, Manchester, I think, are second bottom. It's going to be difficult, but you've obviously got Clan this weekend, which you'll be looking to take points from, and Dundee. So if you were the Fife coach, how do you win the game on Saturday or Sunday? What would the tactics be to win these games?
Do you know what? Put in the hard work and the fans will back you.
Yeah.
So Fife fans, including myself, we can be a hard bunch, a really hard bunch. But if guys go out there and put the effort in and they lose a game, fans will stick behind you because they can see the effort, they can see the determination. If they see that, they'll get right behind the boys, without a doubt. And if you can get the old barn rocking and you can get that place loud, it makes it intimidating for away teams. I mean, that's how, we've had so much success previously in different leagues and things like that. Was because Fife was seen as a rink that you came into that nobody wanted to come into. No matter what club you were, no matter how big a budget you had, you did not want to come into the old rink on a Sunday night or a Tuesday night or whatever. You just didn't want to go because it was so intimidating. The fans were so loud and they got behind the boys and made it awkward for the opposition. Whereas obviously less fans in the building, less performances, not as good performances has made a difference. So yeah, a huge chance. I mean, if we can go out there this weekend, put the hard work in, we've seen what we can do. We've seen who we can beat. Then we've got a chance of 4 points. If we can get 4 points, 2 off Dundee, 2 off Braehead, then that's a big swing because it's obviously the teams you're battling for that playoff spot.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I mean, it can be an intimidating barn to go into. And I remember, obviously, the Fife keep reminding us on Twitter of the Kyle Haynes goal. And I was there that night, and it was certainly, I think the roof was going to come off at one point. Yeah, and it can be intimidating, probably especially imports who are not used to that and actually get into that atmosphere. But you guys need, like the Clan fans, need something to shout about as well. So it has to come really from the ice. It has to be a two-way thing, in my opinion. And this league's so tight, that anybody can really beat anybody, to be honest. I would say, in my opinion, there's probably 2 or 3 teams that are way ahead of the rest in the league. But I think any of the other 7 teams are pretty close, Laura. So I do agree there. It's going to be a close. I think it'll be a close game, to be honest.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it being all the way. I think it'll be a game of goaltenders as well, to be honest with you. I know that Starlet, as I used to pronounce it, Starlet.
Shane Starrett.
Sorry, Starrett. Obviously not one I've commentated on or anything like that. So, yeah, I mean, obviously I've seen you guys on Twitter and things like that and kept an eye on things, and he seems to be getting a lot of praise from your end too. So, and as I say, I can imagine that it'll be a game of goaltenders and, some big saves in there.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of style can we expect from Fife? What we've really seen from Clan, Laura, this season, especially maybe in tougher away venues as they play things quite tight. and they try and play a bit more defensive, and they rely heavily on their goaltending and try and maybe play on the break and sneak a goal. Do you think Fife will come out all guns blazing, or do Fife play a bit like that as well?
Do you know what? I'd expect this weekend to be a bit of a change. So I think with the importance of the weekend and the fact that it should be a big crowd. It won't be the biggest we've seen in previous seasons, but it certainly should be better than what we've been getting. I'd expect them to come out and really go for it. I think they have to. They have to go out there, go for it quick, go hard, maybe a couple of early hits. Guys like Jimmy Isaac's been trying to use what weight he has, and finishing his checks, which he's done well. Emmerdale as well, and obviously got Lawrence. We're not an overly physical team. We don't have, your enforcer type guy, but we need to go out there and we need to give the fans something to be getting behind us about and quick.
Yeah.
So I'd expect them to come out and they'd expect them to, close down and try and get that early momentum and use the home advantage to try and get something from the game.
Yeah, I think the first goal was crucial, isn't it? Because if you guys get the first goal and the crowd get a lift from that, it can be a difficult place for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
But if the Clan maybe grab one early, it could be, put a dampener on the crowd a wee bit. So I think the first goal could be important in this one.
Definitely. I mean, the games are that close just now as well that, there was Sunday against Coventry, a 1-goal game, and we've had other previous that we've been sort of 2 goals in it, and then it's been an empty net and you're trying to chase it and all that kind of thing. I expect it, as I say, I do expect it to be close again. I don't think there's too much between the teams. Certainly points wise, obviously there is. Obviously Clan do have that lead, but I say that the importance of the weekend is massive for us.
Yeah. So you've got Clan coming in on Saturday, you've got Dundee on Sunday. So who do you view as your biggest rival as a Fife fan? Are you still going across the Stars as your biggest rival, or the Clan? What's your thoughts?
Do you know what? It's a difficult one, I'll be honest with you, because Dundee, obviously we have bigger history with them. They've been a club longer than yourselves. And obviously prior to that it was obviously Edinburgh until they folded. But I think it's difficult. It is difficult because I can't say clearly. When I think about it, I want to beat us both as bad as each other. Do you know what I mean? And Clan are a new team, and they're a bigger club and a bigger arena, and their fans like to let you know about it and all that. So you always want to get one over the bigger ones, if you like, and then
so the arena. See a lot. We get the song about let's go shopping. So do you actually come shopping, or will you not go shopping?
Well, I'm not a big fan of the shopping center myself, to be honest with you. Don't mind a wee cheeky McDonald's or something before the game.
That's
it. But no, we do.
It's difficult to tell, isn't it?
The rivalry is good. It's good to have a rivalry with both clubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, Dundee does stand back, and we've had some crackers over the years against these guys, and the fans like to be vocal from either side. And I've had a bit of banter over the years, with Big Larzo and stuff like that as well, and guys that we know really well. So it's good to have that. And obviously, Clan fans are I don't know as many of them just with them being a newer club. But over the years, you build like pals and you build rivalries and you get a bit of banter back and forward, and that's always good to see. So,
definitely.
I think it's pretty even keel for who's the biggest rivals.
And I'm sure Chris Lawrence will get a good reaction from the Stars fans on Sunday.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one, I think, as well. Obviously, we've got Carter as well now.
Of course,
and he was obviously a mixed bag at Dundee too. So I think between the two of them, they'll have plenty to get shouting at.
Definitely. Just to probably finish off, Laura, what's your thoughts of the teams you've seen this season? I see Belfast and Sheffield being well ahead of the others, and maybe Cardiff in there, but probably not, in my opinion, as good as they've been in the past because they're going through a transitional period. What's your thoughts, and where do you think Silverware is going to end up this season?
Yeah, I agree with you with the Cardiff situation. I think we've certainly seen better squads down there in recent years, and they are, maybe not quite as hot as we expected them to be this season. For me, Belfast, they've got some cracking talent in there. Really, really good team. I mean, Sheffield, don't get me wrong, they're sitting top of the league at the moment. I do like Sheffield for the fact that they've got a lot of depth. You know, they can play their 4-line hockey, and it could be 4 lines that are, you know, managing to get points on the board there. We played them in the Challenge Cup. Obviously, it was a bit of a non-starter on the second leg because they obviously had that big advantage from the first leg. But even guys just stepping up and saying, well, you know what, I can play some regular ice time and I can get the points that we need to get. So, yeah, they are a big squad. But for me, Belfast, front to back, are the squad to beat. They are the squad to beat. And I think it's going to be some run-in between the two clubs, to be honest with you.
I think Belfast are a better defensive team than Sheffield, but Sheffield are very good offensively, but it's hard to tell. But I think these two teams especially are streets ahead of everybody else, in my opinion, Laura.
Yeah, I think, like, obviously you were saying defensively, Belfast, Bescoani, he's cracking. Like, I think it's still between him and Owen for the top 2 goalkeepers in the league for me. Obviously maybe slightly biased towards Owen, but I think those 2 guys are huge, and obviously he'll backstop, you know, everything. He'll give Belfast a chance every night. And then you've got Whistle as well. Obviously he stepped in Kirkcaldy when we played them, because obviously Besco, it was 3 nights and 3 anyway, so chances are Whistle was going to get some ice time, but still stepped in, played a really, really good game, really solid game. So it's always good that they can rely on him too. But if I was to put my money on anybody, I think I'd still go with Belfast, even though Sheffield's got the lead just now.
Definitely. And finally, what's your prediction for the weekend? Are Fife going to take 4 points?
Oh, I hope so. I'm going to go with 3 out of 4.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 3 out of 4.
You're not going to tell me where they're coming from?
I'm not going to tell you where they're coming from. I think both games will be ridiculously close. I wouldn't be surprised if both games go all the way.
I'm going for an overtime win for either team on Saturday, hopefully the Clan, but I think it's going to be close. I think you're right. I think it's going to be a battle of the goaltenders, and it might just be a goal in overtime or even penalties that wins it. And it goes to that, you don't know how it's going to go, but I think we're in for a really tough game this weekend, Laura. But as I say, I really appreciate you coming on and giving us your time. I know you're busy with various things, and hopefully catch up on Saturday at the Old Barn, and look forward to it.
No, you're welcome, Callie. Thanks so much.
Take care, Laura. All the best. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye-bye.